That'd be a long 30 seconds, don't it? What's Monday? Happy Monday. Hello, LB.
Hello, Jocelyn Renee.
Welcome to our chat for In Covenant with Ezra. Somebody's in the
And
comments.
audio.
On audio, yes. But we've never Allegra, hey girl. I don't know if Ayana's on time. She said, hey,
Tanisha. Hey, Heather. I just see.
Yes, but no,
Hey,
we never
Nita.
talked about In Covenant with Ezra, period. Not just audio.
No.
We never had a chat about Ezra, period. So
well, not in this format, right?
No, and I don't know. I know me, Indie Love and BSB were going through your catalog, and
I do remember that.
I don't. We didn't get to Ezra. No, we did not.
What? Are you sure? You sure y'all let y'all not do Ezra? Like
we did not get to. We were going in order. That's why we were going. We got to Stenton, and that turned into a whole.
I remember that. I remember that.
So we got to Stenton. So we did do Ezra Terra. I don't remember us doing.
I don't see how y'all would not allow you guys to do it. But when Alyx comes on, she's gonna tell you about Stenton and how someone gave her some.
I don't recall us doing a live chat about Ezra. I'm gonna have to go back through our YouTube channels and look and see. I don't remember us getting to Ezra. I know we ended up stopping at somewhere. But anyway, I have been emailing or texting or whatever, LB telling her that I don't remember if I liked Ezra very much.
Yeah.
In book 1. And even listening, it's like I'm wavering. I'm on the fence of, I don't really like this nigga right now. And when did I start liking him? Because at some point it did flip. But listening to him, it's like, yeah, bruh, like you're straddling the fence in your thinking all the way. So, love, tell us about Ezra.
So you guys are gonna have to forgive me in advance tonight because I just got finished editing In Love with Ezra for audio. We didn't catch it for In Covenant with Ezra, so there were a lot of errors in there, and I did not realize that until it was too late. So I finished last night before I had dinner, and I promise you, I tears were like threatening. I'm like, no, you swallow them things right back up. And I felt like I didn't even read it, but I just felt like I understood the struggle. So I know we're only talking about book 1, but just thinking about how they landed in book 2 and how Ezra's difficult. It's hard to get to know him. He's not an easy read, but his heart is pure. He pursued her in earnest. He didn't want to hurt her. He didn't want to harm her. He was just so one-sided with an institution that requires 2 people.
Right.
And I don't think, someone asked me a few years ago, was Ezra autistic? And I was like, what? Did I say that?
Rachel said that. And I was like,
I was really offended. Why would you ask me that? And I think she is like a clinician or something, because she broke down why she assumed, because she said, oh, I was just an assumption. And I was like, wow, it's just so much. It's not a 2-way street with him until we get done with him. Right. It's just one way. And then I'm going to be honest with you, Lex is no angel either. No. Like showing up drunk. Like, you know, this
I listened to that today and it's like,
Yeah. And it's just like the fact that you would just say, okay, I'll marry you. Like, there's a few things like I just felt like, dang, Lex, you were out there like that. Like, even with her trying to figure out what these feelings were, she was attracted to Ezra and curious about him. And she kissed Pablo. His name is not Pablo.
Right.
What's his name? What is his name? His name is not Pablo. Thanks, Miss Rima.
Right.
But yeah,
Juan.
Thank you. Yeah, and the way like she kissed him because she was just trying to figure things out, and
Right.
I don't know. I just think it's such a good story of
Oh, it is. It's an amazing
interesting
story.
pairing.
And then because I've read everything, so into the cameos and where they are now, it's like Jesus, their journey. Like we still see their journey, like I said, we're supposed to be talking about this one, but I get it. I get it. Hey,
Well, let's talk about something you said. Khaleesi's here.
I said Glenda.
Oh, hey, Glenda. Brooklyn's in the house. So, something you said when you had gotten to that part listening to the audio, and I said, Josh, I passed that part, and I felt the same way about being restrained,
right,
during intimacy and given her history. And I was like, that concerned me too. I was like, like I literally like kind of froze. And then when you get to book 2, I was like, dang, Josh was right. We were right. Like that was an issue for her, but she braved it because that's who she was taught to be. And she was so curious about this man, who wanted to make covenant with her.
I'm trying to see what this person is saying. He was trying so hard to not be like his father. He begins as a very Black and character in his thinking. And he evolves as becomes more vulnerable and emotionally available. I don't know if I think he was this. Love's gonna laugh. My opinion. This is me. I don't know. I don't know if he was trying so hard not to be like his father, because
I think because at first I agree with you. That's the first thing I thought. Like he didn't care about Sylvester, but I think Ezra's thing was, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. And I know my appetite is a huge part of my being, as is Christ, and I don't want the distraction. So send me the right one so it can, and obviously he did not want to be like Sylvester. He didn't want to have
yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Romantic life or whatever. But girl, dang, I'm confusing. I'm getting book 2 in this, but that Precious, she was something else. I forgot.
And you gotta remember, I just listened to the last 2 chapters today. Well, I was on the chapter before the last chapter, and I listened to that on the way to work. And so in the last chapter where they come off the is it in the last chapter? Anyway, toward the end when they get off the plane and they, run all these errands, and then they go to the church and she pulls him aside because Lex didn't speak to her. If I ain't gotta speak to you,
girl,
why would I speak to you?
Girl,
you're ogling my husband.
Girl,
speak to you, please. And okay, so like you were saying, there's so many things that was flashing back in my mind about the story, period, that when I was listening to certain things, I was like, no, that's not in this book. That's in the next book. No, that's not in this book. In the next book. Because I'm like, when is she gonna snap on Natalia? And I forgot it's not in this book.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
After, and then when she snapped, you all know she's gonna snap on Precious. Yeah.
I think she, but I know we're jumping outside of and covenant with Ezra, but I feel like I saw in book 2 where she started giving her grace. She started saying, all right, you ain't rap too tight. Like you're annoying, but you're just not powerful. You're not a competitor. I think she finally understood that. She comes to understand that in book 1, but Ezra, for him to be so one world, one way thinking in his mind, he definitely defended Lex. Like he definitely wanted her protected, even against his father, even when, dang it, I feel like I'm just confusing books when yeah, I am confusing books.
Yeah.
When Sylvester wanted her to sit up with the dignitaries, and she's like, "No, I don't want to sit there." And he said, and Ezra was like, "She doesn't have to sit there." Um, I don't know. I just think he's Ezra. He's Ezra.
Somebody said her friend is trash. Yeah.
Yeah, and I forgot about that with Nyree too. Like the cattiness, the jealousy, and how she said, and I understood. You know I've been planning my wedding for a while, and you jump up, you of all people, with some guy you haven't even been dating. But Lex said, and I thought that was very generous too. You only have to pay for your hair. You only have to pay for your hair. Everything is being paid for. And then she said how when Nyree was posting like the pictures from her wedding, how most of them were not for Lex to say Lex was her friend, and that's why she stood with her on her day. It was to show herself, show the grandiose of the facility, and to show the who's who. Like she was connected. What she say, Nyree was a hit. Yeah, and I don't get it. And Ezra was picking up on it too. Ezra was picking up that, but I don't get how Lex tolerated that.
From Jump Street, when she came in and was so mean to the young lady and her baby, and was, I didn't know we was doing charity. Girl, I would have been.
Yo, what's her name, Tara? What was her name? That girl with her baby, with little Johnny. Lex said, "You don't want it. This is not the one you want to needle. Like, don't." She will drag you in this room, so you better be lucky she's gonna eat it and just leave. Like, but I feel like in book one, Nyree was just a little like she was an irritant. But in book two, it was just like, yo, you're god awful. Like, and Lex, how could you remain friends? And I would like to think it's because she was so distracted by this thing called Ezra. But I'm like, Lex, I don't see you. Nyree can't run up on you. Like, what?
Right. I tell you, when I busted out laughing at the wedding when Anushka was trying to take pictures of Stitch.
Girl,
I
think, oh my gosh, that's like, me too.
Phone in the
girl, I wanted that like a few times. I'm like, Anushka, are you kidding me? And Ezra was like, he wouldn't have seen it, but I guess he wanted to respect his privacy. I forgot Snitten was even in the way. I'm like, Anushka.
I'm driving and I am cracking up like Anushka did not care.
Or even with Anushka the night before the wedding when they were at Lex's apartment, and she said, "Yo, I'm out, Wody." Something like that. I'm like, Anushka, girl, I was tickled. It was
Kima. They're saying that the girl's name was Kima. That's right,
Kima, and I forget what her son's name was, but Kima would have mopped the floor with Nyree.
With her baby in her arms. She was already talking
about her baby in her arm when she was
gonna baby daddy in. So
oh my gosh. I wish there was more context and why Nyree disliked Lex so much. Ezra said this, and this is not me. You know how, especially in the Black community growing up, I think all of the older women, when you didn't get along with someone, they say, oh, they're jealous of you. I never subscribe to that, because while that is a thing, I think sometimes it's a little more nuanced than that. And even though it has nothing to do with you, like you're still the victim of somebody just not liking you and you don't know why, you're not reciprocating the energy. Sometimes I think it's just a little nuanced. Like, girl, you're not going to go deep.
Nyree disliked herself.
Thank you, Tangela. It could just be something. Ezra said something like that. Nyree, I'm jumping the book too, but Nyree, are you upset that Lex survived with so much less than what you had? Like, is it because of the survivor in her? And I get. Plain old jealousy. When I hear that, I'm like, nah, I need to go deeper. Like, what else is there? Yeah, Nyree disliked herself. I don't think she had a lot of substance.
I think that what the jealousy part may come into play with
her boyfriend, her fiance cheating on her.
That, or the fact that like you said, despite all of what Lexus went through, she went to school. Despite her mom having mental issues, despite her dad being in and out of jail, Lex stood strong in her Harlem pride. And what does Nyree have? You worked at Rusty's just because, and you hid it from your parents. You weren't even bold enough to be like, this is what I'm gonna do.
She still doesn't work. She still wasn't working in Covenant with Ezra. She didn't have. Let's say she didn't pay for anything. She didn't have a job.
Exactly. You're downing her, but you don't have nothing. What do you have to show for yourself, your own self-worth? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. There was something else I saw, but I can't find it. Not even just like I think it was before. I don't know if it was before that or after that. I don't know. It might find.
Well, what I will say that Ezra snatching her from.
Oh, that's it. That's what I was looking
for. Oh, it's up here now.
Yeah.
When he snatched her from Rasul, I know Rasul was being a little ignorant, trying to have the pissing contest when he met him the day that he dropped off the F-type Jaguar to her, which was perfect timing, by the way, because she was with her friends, and I don't know if he knew that. But then he also caught her dad talking about her, and I was like, I didn't remember Rasul being so harsh.
Yeah.
But even then, he didn't speak to Ezra, and I guess Ezra said, "I know the type of time you're on now. I know your spirit." So it was nothing for him to just be like, "You're of no consequence here. Like, I'll let you do the traditional thing of walking it down the aisle, but I don't need you. I don't need your approval. I strategically." This is probably why you don't know if you like him, but I strategically chose her because she don't have to answer nobody. Therefore, I ain't got to answer nobody. I can just take her. Right. And it just worked out that way. I really felt bad. Oh, I felt bad for Lex.
When she got drunk and he brought her, and he was like, and when he said, Lex, oh, she can take care of herself. And Ezra said, bruh.
When? Which
bro? When Rasul, he was like, he flexing. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. He said he flexing. And well, at least Winston says, Ezra says.
No, I know what you're talking about. He said, bruh. I'm just trying to remember, what was the scene?
That when he told Lex he parked the car, and when Lex was drunk.
At the restaurant.
He was saying, go on and get in the car with homeboy so he could take you where you need to go. And he was flexing like, Lex, you good? She can handle herself. She just had you mad because she had a couple of drinks
at the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember, like, I just don't think Ezra felt he was a threat. I don't.
When he was like, bruh.
Now you're gonna have me go listen to that again.
When she was supposed to come to the.
Oh, did I cut you off, Jess?
No, I was looking at the next one.
Now,
you know what? So what's the worst? I ranted about him again during that Jaguar scene to Allegra and Yaya.
Didn't acknowledge him, didn't say hello.
But you know what? You don't do a lot of crazy daddies. You do the crazy mamas.
When you think about Rasul, huh? I mean, that's disgusting. Yeah. I know what you're saying. I'm just afraid to take on another one. You have
we have what's his name, daddy, but he wasn't live and in color. It was memories from Connecticut Kings. Her daddy from the military, he was a piece of work. We know that.
Nice father. Yes, he was. He was a terror.
Yeah.
We don't know who Lennox's dad was. Parker's dad was, rather. Well, Lennox's dad wasn't as bad as Rasul, but
I think we always talk about who's the worst mother.
Yeah. Rasul probably
is the worst father.
Yeah.
The worst.
I was really caught off. I did not remember that at all.
Yeah, Tori's dad wasn't really.
He came in her life later, right? When she was like an adult. Yeah, he was crappy.
Well, okay, I guess Love does. She's fair with it then. Not a job. Y'all bringing it to my remember. Yeah, Shishi's daddy wasn't, He was okay to Shishi. He was horrible to the sister.
He loved to share. He was crappy to her sister.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Hayden's dad really wasn't around. So
who's that?
Hayden. I get what you guys are saying when you're throwing up the dads, but I'm saying like.
Well, there's been conflict with mother. A daughter and dad's relationship. But I used to get called out about that. And I don't even know called out. That takes on a negative connotation, but how there's always conflicts with my clients and their parents. But a lot of damage or problems stem from your childhood. That's where it comes from. People don't necessarily wake up with issues unless you're Ezra. You don't wake up with strange, proclivities. Like there's just some things that you kind of get when you're under the tutelage of your parents.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just interesting how your parents can shape your brain in terms of how you take on a partner, like how you take on a relationship, whether you value one. How do you?
And
How do you?
Bishop Carmichael wasn't no better, really. Him and Rasul, they can run neck and neck, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
With you being you hit it spot on when you wrote about so many of the. I want to say I can't say it. It's funny, I can say persnickety, but I can't say.
And I can't say persnickety. See, I still can't say it.
Is it procolactive? It's not procolactive. However you say it.
Proclivities?
Yeah, I guess. Is that it?
That's what I said. I don't know if that's what you're looking for.
Well, you know how I was saying he didn't want to be like his dad.
Mm-hmm.
But for you, I'm saying you wrote it what a lot of us know about bishops and pastors. Not all, because you do have some the straight and narrow that really do, but we all know about the ones that carry on the way Bishop does.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was in this book, but it's not. I think that's book 2, because you and I talked about it briefly.
Mm-hmm.
The woman's auxiliary.
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait for book 2 and 3. Y'all, I almost told Love I wasn't going to listen, because I like to listen to them back to back, because I be in my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm ready for the next one. Like when I listened to Sadiq and I was ready to move on to Sadiq. I think I held on and waited for Lip to drop, all of them to drop.
Did you?
Yeah, I think
I don't know,
did.
Joslyn.
I didn't. Yes, I did.
Because we talked to Miles, but
after
we talked to him after Redeem.
We talked to him after they were all done, because that's when Miles said that
that Asmir's low key toxic.
Yes.
Yeah. He was serious about that. I love me some Miles.
Somebody said Trent's dad. They mentioned Trent's dad. Trent's dad had a small role. Like he
was crappy. Yeah.
He was crappy. He came around because he wanted money.
He needed money. Mm-hmm.
He wanted money.
And even Rut's father, he came home on some ego flexing type thing with Asmir, and that was not the right thing to do.
Right. I might go back and listen to that just because.
Yeah, I love that project. Oh my gosh, that was really good. And I which is unfortunate, because I always say, and CCJ and I talk about this, some people miss out on, and I think I talked about it during our last chat. A lot of people miss out on this Connecticut Kings because they think it's so sports heavy, and forget that the same authors who write romance in their primary gigs is writing the sports romance. So it's no different. It's just a thing, a community where we're in. And that story is, I love Rut and Parker's story. Loves an eligible receiver.
Yeah, I think that was the last one I listened to before this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I forgot about Kennedy's dad being a.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He cheated on her mom, and
yeah, but there's a difference in the way Rasul was talking about Lex.
About her. I didn't like that at all.
He stood on that stoop in front of his friends and called his daughter out her
name, saying, "You just better have my money," and all this other stuff. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Erica. Yo, E. As Mid said,
yeah.
I will shut this. If I find one recording, I will not rest until I find. I was like, whoo. Winston and Alyx did that too. They ate on that. Loves an eligible receiver.
Yeah.
And I think Alyx, that was her favorite LBU project. She said because Parker. Did I say Lennox? Parker is so laid back, and she is. You just get these warm feelings from Parker, and like you just want to protect her the way she protects, I guess everyone else, including that Rupp. But Glenda, I said it. I said that as I looked at your comment. Yeah, I love Rupp. Rupp was so cool.
Yes, Allegra, perfect. That is right.
Doing all that when you still need a back to take care of you. Oh, who are we talking about?
Russell.
Yeah. Ugh, Russell, just disgusting.
Yep.
Just disgusting. So let me ask our sister readers, what did you think about the narrators that we selected? Because so many people for years were asking, hey, can we get another narrator on a project? And Emmanuel and Jacoby. And that was not an option for me. They were not available. And I'm thinking, I literally woke up one day and I'm like, yo, Winston would eat Ezra right on up. Why am I not thinking about him? Because I had him on some other stuff. I've had Winston. Winston has been all through the LBU. I'm thinking, like, why didn't you think about Winston would eat on there? I just had to, got to prepare him, man him with information, characterization, which I always do. And I'm thinking, like, and I could tell when he kept things I said in mind about Ezra and his delivery, and yeah. So what do you guys think? I'm sorry.
They're saying perfect. I love them. Winston did the thing. He killed Bishop Noel Jones. He was good as Mr. Rama.
Child, wait till he get on here.
Mm-hmm.
Child, 8. And Alyx called somebody a bitch again. And I was hollering. And I know I'm not talking about when she said it in church after their honeymoon when they came back from Camigo. I'm not talking about that when it was somebody else. And Alyx had me howling at that. I cannot remember what it was, but even her. Dang, I don't want to talk too much about them before they get on. But even I felt like, because Alyx is a trained actor, I always say that. Alyx understood Lex's level of comfortability with Ezra, because she did. He didn't totally intimidate her. Her Harlem pride would not allow him to totally take over. He got a lot off on her. But I felt like Alyx did a good dance on that line when she gave him sass. And I know Glenda is going to amen this. But I'm talking too ahead of time because I want Alyx on here when I say this. But I felt like I'm sorry. Hang on. That's Mr. Winston. I felt like she understood this balance. I love
When
that.
was she talking about Natalia when she called her a bitch? I feel like it was then.
It could have been. Could have been.
When she was looking at him and she was like, who is this bitch?
It could have been somebody. I was like, Alyx, you having too much fun.
Yes. She did Lex good. I like this. Sensual scenes with Winston were artistic, very sultry. Well, y'all, I was at work. And if you don't know, I'm an educator. Well, yeah, I'm still an educator. My certifications are still intact, but I no longer work in the classroom. I work in the back office. And my door was open.
And I feel like we're your students. And
no, students are out. But this was today. But my door was open. And this is when they were in I can't say it. Yeah.
Camigo.
And they were having sex, and it was like somebody walked in, and I was like, oh wait, I'm slapping my at some point
That
I
is
need to
funny.
push my door closed, like,
That is
yeah, I need
funny.
y'all to stay out of here for a while. Yes, Khalees, she is.
What did Khalees say? Is Khalees here? Khalees, hey Khalees, I do
Yeah,
see
she's
you.
here. She's
When
saying,
did
hey.
Khalees? When did you get here?
I threw her
Wait,
up and she said hey to us. You didn't see it.
no, I must have been maybe. Wait, Khalees, you're moving. So is it just me? But did Alyx really embody Lex? I'm telling you, Glenda made a whole video about it.
Did she? I didn't see
Oh,
it.
I just sent it to Alyx. Glenda was like going in. Like this is my second favorite portrayal she's done because she ate a share too. I'm
Yeah.
in love with Alyx. Alyx does it for me. She
Look,
really, really does.
here's Glenda. Glenda said, listen, Ezra and Lex are nasty. Yes, baby, they was very nasty while I was back in my office being grown, trying to get through and listening. Because I was trying to listen yesterday and I kept getting interrupted. And it was just like, this is why I listen in the car. This is why I listen, take my time and listen to and fro work because Lord.
Yeah. Well, when they were coming back from Camigo, I was like, Ezra, you're gonna break that girl. Like you are going to break her. And it was like literally today, because I like listened to it. I listened to it straight through, and then I went back to like the second quarter of it and I listened to it. I have literally like the ending to go. I may have like, I don't know, maybe I have 45 minutes to go, but I'm like, Ezra, you're gonna break her. And she's so satiated and I don't even know if she's satiated because she's so curious and she's so open and she's just so that she's gonna let you break her. She said that. I'm like, what Ezra said, he was taking his time, he didn't rush her, he waited till they got to Camigo. He even was patient with her then before he pounced on her for the first time. But I was like, Ezra, you're scaring me.
You know, Ezra pissed me off the minute they land and you got to take off. You don't
For
even
a run.
see your new wife to your
To the hut. To the
to
hut.
your
Yeah.
hut. Make sure she's good. You send her off with somebody else so you could go. Bruh, I get it that you were there twofold. It was twofold. We Lex didn't get that part yet. But sir, sir. And then y'all come back on your honeymoon and you got errands to run. Nigga, what? This is where the love hate was like, oh, you pissing me off.
And that's also too when he was just so mechanical because he even said, I hope she was okay because I don't want the type of wife that I have to be with 20. And he said Lex was fine. He said she was fine thanks to Yanti. Is it Yanti?
Yeah.
But
I know, Tangela. I know he isn't good with relationships. He gets there, but
yeah.
yeah, I know.
And I know too, physically, he just had to move. He had to burn off that energy. And I mean, I get it. And again, he was applying patience. But dang, even you bringing that up, and I'm thinking about book 2, when again she was cool with it for the honeymoon, but then no, because when they came home, she was like, "You ain't separating from me." Lex was open. She said, "You ain't separating from
Well,
me."
that's what I was gonna say. I liked about Lex too. After she accepted, Lex was just kind of open. She, I was listening to Alyx, like you said, she bodied it when she was talking about how Lex was talking about how her faith, she's going to church and she's open to learning how to do things and asking him, show me how, and her inquisitiveness, because all of that, like she was more willing to not be just a partner. She was like, I'm falling for you. Well, she hadn't at that point. Well, she hadn't admitted at that point. But you can see where, especially after reading it so many times and then listening, it's like, okay, all these aha moments of when
Mm-hmm.
Lex was far more ahead
Oh
in
yeah.
their relationship than he was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know. It's book 2. I have to say this because most of us on here, we know we're familiar with the series. I just feel like those things she started requiring in book 1, Ezra was actually providing in book 2, but his stupid just he wanted to be left out of the romance part. He wanted to leave that out of the equation, and
Right.
not
Right.
understanding you crave this woman, you're obsessed with her, you want to do right by her, you want to stay in bed later because she asked you to, you want to go to the movies with her, although that's not your thing. You're sacrificing your sermon prep time and all this other stuff. Like everything that people do who are in love with someone and who wants to be with someone and wants to meet in that place, Ezra actually was doing. But because he wanted to label it and call it the cool covenant, and her thing was what broke her is I'm in love. I'm in love. And Ezra was in love too. I'm telling you, I was choking up so bad yesterday when I finished book 2. I was just like, guys, you're at the same place. You're just defining it differently. And Ezra, you gotta relax. You gotta loosen up. I was so emotional.
I don't think he's on the spectrum either. He is a genius
Nah,
in
I don't
such
think
a
he's
certain
on the
way.
spectrum.
I
Yeah,
wanted to
but
share Roz's I also think Lex had to get the confidence to tell him what she wanted. She did that. Ezra
because
was
she was trying to go with the flow. Her
Mhm.
thing was like, okay, I'm gonna stay in my lane. This is, this can't be too hard. Ah, God, I was so emotional. And Miss Rima, poor thing, and she's just like, she could have said to Lex, go, girl, go live your life, young lady. Leave me back here. I'm so glad she decided to go out there with her and be a support and be a listening ear, and also checking Lex, when
Ring
Lex
ding,
needed
we
to calm
live,
down.
baby. It's not just a video. We live, honey. We talking live and in color. But welcome.
And I've been this series no less. Oh, thank you. And shout out to Rachel Smith. Hey, girl, with your gorgeous self. Sheridan is in the house. Oh yeah, I'm trying, Sheridan. I'm trying. I'm growing up, trying to be a big girl.
Wait, y'all, because we know that Alyx doesn't show her face, and I'm sure Winston does. So I said to LB, I said, "Well, I'm the only one on camera,"
I
and
know.
she said, "I'm gonna be on camera," and I was like, "Oh!" I did. I
No,
jumped back, y'all. I
it
jumped
is
back.
weird. It is weird. Not my thing, but you got to grow up sometime, right?
Oh. I'm trying to think how some more of my favorite scenes that I enjoyed that were brought to light today. Him showing up at her graduation.
I was so scared for Ezra. My heart was like, oh,
Why?
because he was being vulnerable. Because she could have embarrassed him there, cussed him out there, or whatever. And Lex is she's a down. She just went with the flow with him, but he showed up for him. I think that was the Holy Spirit guiding him, because I don't think he knew nobody showed for Lex. I think his thing was, I'm gonna show for her.
Mm-hmm. I
And I
know,
think he had to
and I
move some
get
things
Tyson
around.
not showing up, and I get it, but then I was still like, "Dang, really, really?" So you can sit in a dusty staff meeting with Rusty, man. I would have been like, "Go to hell."
Oh, Tashi?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if Tashi had a choice. They're not corporate employees. They don't. Her pay probably would have gotten cut if she didn't, come to the dusty meeting. Because I'm with you, but I don't think she. I don't think she could get around
I'm
that.
just saying. I was like, "Dang," that's how I feel. And I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember why Nyree didn't show up.
I don't know, Tara. Why didn't Nyree show up? I know Anushka had to work because Lex. Did she have to work because they were short of staff? I think Anushka couldn't show for that. Ms. Rima, we know, was sent back
Right,
home.
right. Um, and
Who
then
else is there?
when he put the ring on her finger and she didn't know it was there.
Oh.
And all she's trying to figure out why her hand is hurting and da, 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 oh, the first day. Well, the first date, I just like when Lex went off like, "Oh, what going out with your dust base?" I'm paraphrasing, your dusty ass friends, and and
It's like, this is not my speed. I'm sorry.
when Lex clowned, uh,
That is?
not Thaddeus, well, she called him Big Thad, but Thaddeus' fiance. When she kept calling him
Lillian, Lils.
No, not Lillian.
Oh, Miranda.
Miranda.
Miranda was, she was
But when
showing out, wasn't she?
but when Lex low key at the restaurant was like
That's not your first time meeting me. I met
yeah.
you when you told
Yeah.
Lillian that you weren't going to be able to come and couldn't get, put her on
Yeah.
blast. And Ezra was like, that was good. Or the scene.
Yeah, Miranda was trash too. She was.
The scene with her on his thigh in the hallway, because Ezra was not trying to go into that house.
Right.
And I felt bad for him too, because he's struggling, because he's like, yo, this is not a church girl. I have to give her something to keep her, because she's a wild girl. Like, I have to give her something and let her know that we're not that far apart, in terms of our morality and being, hot-blooded, whatever, and him having to toe that line, cross the line.
You went into the whole club.
He was off the chain after that. Oh, that was girl. And they was it the pussy pop? and when Alyx was like, yes, I feel it too, I was hollering. Oh my gosh. Did we do this? Kim Yada. Hey, Kim Yada. At one point, did he put the ring on her finger when they were out in the hallway, when he said something about
just because it wasn't planned or
doesn't mean it wasn't thought out or something like that. So she was so, I don't know if she was inebriated, but she was definitely caught up in lust with him. She didn't realize he had put it on her finger when I think as he was saying that. Mm-hmm. I kept going back to find it because I don't think it was written out. I think
it was just there.
The next morning, and she's saying like, why? Because I guess she was hitting her hand. She had a rock, so I guess she was just maybe hitting her hand at night or whatever, and discovered it the next morning.
And then when he said,
because I think her arms were up. I think he had her arms pinned up when he said that.
He probably slipped it on.
Tara, let me know if I'm right or wrong. Which scene, Nita? Favorite scene? The pussy popper? Is that what you guys talking about? Yeah. The beast was lurking. Couldn't let him. Yeah, he was trying, Tangela. He was trying to keep him at bay, and Lex and her feisty behind.
Ezra said, boo, don't let the big Bible fool you. I can do more with my knee.
Yes, okay, he had to have her arms pinned up. Reem Bean said, yeah, I believe he did. And I think he whispered that in her ear. After the club. It was after the club. Oh, you talking about the scene when he went inside the apartment. He found inside the apartment. Yeah. Yeah, those two. And then when he met Juan, and he could tell there's something between you two. I'm picking up in my spirit. I don't know exactly what it is, but I kind of have an idea of what it is.
But his whole jealousy, I was rolling my eyes at his whole jealousy,
Said she makes stew chicken, Lex, and you don't tell me. He was coming in there like, y'all my peeps.
Right. He was. But then when they went to the house, two things. When he showed her house, and Miranda ate all this sushi.
Girl, Miranda ate her sushi. Yo, Ezra probably wanted to throw her out right then and there.
And then but before that, when he was questioning her up in the bedroom about Juan, like, have you been intimate with him? What's the deal with y'all? And And Lex is like, I ain't caring about him. Yeah, I kissed him, but
girl, we smoked together. And he was like, Lex, I would have never expected you to be a smoker.
He was like, smoke
Lex
what?
Is why. But the way Alyx portrayed that scene was here. Like she was so happy. She was so happy to see him, but she was scared at the same time. Like I felt those emotions. Like, dang, you're here. You're gonna meet Miss Rima. but then I'm afraid to say I lost my job. Alyx, you ate on that girl.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, Alyx Monroe.
Thank you. Hey, everybody.
Was your nose itching? We were talking about you. I told them when you called, I think it was twice in Covenant with Ezra, you called someone a BITCH. And I was like, Alyx, you're having too much fun. It was hilarious. Oh, and then there was that scene. It was that scene, when Alyx did Ezra. I sent it to you, Alyx. What happened in that scene?
Oh, that was
when
I think that was the scene when he first showed her the room.
Which room?
I don't remember.
No, Alyx. I think it was when they after they met with the head of Kamigu, and Natalia was there, and she said there's something going on between you two, like giving him the business, and he explained their relationship, and he like said, well, do you want that from me? And the way Alyx did Ezra's reply about, no, I prefer mine. And I was like, Alyx, you're having too much fun, man. This is supposed to be work. It was
fun, though.
Sexy. I was like, oh my God.
All right, y'all.
A whole lot of fun.
Love already knows that I told y'all, don't let me have a fangirl moment, because I'm about to fangirl. So if I get quiet, it's just because I'm listening. I might, just sit back and just listen. Welcome, Mr. James, to In Covenant with Ezra, the chat. How are you this evening?
How you doing? I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty well.
Okay. You coming and starting trouble, Winston?
I just said hello.
That's how we kicking this off, Winston.
I only said hello.
When we made the announcement, and I'm not a fan of myself because of you, Winston. I respect you. I'm
all right.
I feel like we're in the same house because I'm burning up too.
Yeah. I've got my little cocktail going on. But when I made the announcement, and the response was Winston. But Winston, you've done interviews before. I know we haven't gotten you here. Why didn't we get Winston here? Why haven't we had Winston on? Because he's been saying from the gate, "Oh, love, I'm down." But why didn't we have Winston here?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I'm here now, though. I'm here now.
I know, yeah. Because Winston told me from the gate, he said, "Yeah, love, I got you." And it's probably because. No, I don't know why. This is crazy. But anyway, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad
to be here. Glad to be here.
So Winston, I know you play a lot of characters. I know you do. I mean, you can't even remember half of them. And I really wish you can hear the reception that people have been, have had to in Covenant with Ezra, because I told you he's like this top 3, not 3 in the LBU. And the way you took him on, and they loved it. They just, you ate.
I hate them so much right now.
What are they doing? Are they acting up? You ate. And then, I have to say this before I forget. I forgot Bishop Jones was Jamaican until I'm listening. When you did Bishop, okay, and I'm thinking like I should have known that. I totally forgot. And then someone brought up with Miss Rima, and they were even talking about it. I don't know, someone DM'd me how you ate with Miss Rima, and when I'm listening, I was saying, "Dang, I wish I would have written more parts." And there are more parts in the subsequent books with Miss Rima and Ezra. But you did you always do a good job. Winston.
Always an amazing job.
That's you. You made it easy for me to do a good job. So I'm just, that's you.
Yeah, no, but that's you
I'm just going off of your words. Yeah.
No, that's you too. Because I feel like I feed so much information. I have to say, LB, just calm down. Just calm down. Because Alyx had to tell me a little while ago. She was like, "Love, I have your cadence now. Like you just have a kind of a build." And I kind of feel where we are, and I'm good from there. But that was That was
thank you
good.
so much. I'm having a ball working with you, honestly. Um, all of your characters, your books. I mean, because truth be told, when it's not written well, it's hard to do.
I know Alex told me that years
You
ago.
know what I mean? Like, so if
Good
it's not
word.
written well,
Okay.
I'm not excited to do it. I'm kind of rushing through it. Can't wait to get to the end. I'm late, probably. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, but never with you is just really easy to read. So I think that allows me to bring my talents. It shows my talents up even more because it allows me to dive in and I'm excited about it. And the more excited I'm about it, the better I can deliver, you know?
Yeah. And Khalees, I don't hear Juggy. I honestly don't hear Juggy. And I've
But
heard
you know what they're talking about? They're talking about that, you when he did Juggy, that scene when he went
a
off.
particular scene.
Yes.
Oh, as Mir Khalees? Is that what you're talking about,
No.
Khalees? When
Oh,
we were just talking about when as Mir, we're talking about Love's an Eligible Receiver, my CK project, when you did Rut. And as Mir was featured in there, and as Mir cleared, I don't expect for you to remember this, Winston. You know, I love you for where you are. I'm not gonna. I don't expect for you to remember it, but we were talking about that before you got on. Is that what you're talking about, Khalees? Before I get into that,
she asked something else, or is she talking about?
I'm not even caught up.
Oh.
Okay, I'm not even caught up. Well, Khalees will
No,
come
they were
back.
talking about she commented first talking about Juggy, and then she said my name, and I'm like, stop playing.
Oh, she's
And
talking
then
about Winston. She's talking about my Prism series,
yeah.
Jazz and the Shira. I don't hear Juggy. Absolutely not,
You
which is crazy.
but you said at one point he killed Juggy when he
Oh, he
did
murdered
Juggy.
Juggy. You know, but she's saying that he's talking now and she hears Juggy. I don't hear Juggy tonight.
I
That's
think
what she's saying,
she's
right?
clowning me to a
Oh, she's trying
degree.
to, yeah, they always get you. They always get you. Okay. Ah.
Oh
Well,
man.
Because she
Win-
used my real name in Prism. So that's why they're like
yeah.
Juggy and all of that. They just like to clown in the comments.
Alex,
Okay.
do you remember that? I know Winston. I know Winston doesn't. Do you remember that when Juggy had a girlfriend named
Yeah.
Joslyn? Yeah. Yeah.
I usually notice whenever people's real names are used. But I don't know. I don't know. I guess because I've heard Winston narrate so many things, I don't know if I hear a certain character, but
I don't. And I've heard
I do
Winston
get what Khalees is saying though. Like
you do?
it just feels like Juggy swag.
I
But
don't get that.
Juggy was the thuggy guy, right? He was a
Yeah,
little more,
yeah. I
But
don't
yeah,
get
I
that
feel
at
like he
all.
absolutely.
was chill though. He wasn't like real hardcore, like
No,
oh
no, he wasn't hardcore. He was street. I should say
yeah.
more street is the word I should say more
He
than
just
thuggy.
he just had a
Yeah,
vibe to him.
I don't hear that. And I've heard Winston, I've sat in on an interview with him before. No, I don't hear that. I really don't. And I love
maybe
that.
because I'm in the middle of doing Hamlet right now, so
I know
maybe
you're working on
I'm
a play. Yeah.
yeah, so maybe
No.
yeah.
But I often even say to Alex, like Alex, just like you worked on so many LBU projects, so has Alex. But I don't hear the same voices. I don't hear it, especially for the
That just
main
shows their
clients.
talent, the diversity of it.
Yeah.
Because I, as much as I love Alex doing Ashira
Mm-hmm.
and other people, when I'm engrossed in like this one, Ezra, that's what I'm picturing them as
Mm-hmm.
Ezra, as
Yeah, I just
yeah.
don't. I don't ever hear, and you don't want to. You don't want to hear that crossover. And I even feel like with Winston, because I put a lot of pressure on Winston, and he's so gracious, and he's like, "I got you, love. I got you, love," and I'm like, "Okay, but," and he's like, "I got you, love. I got you." And I even hear with Ezra, I feel like you're leaving Ezra. Ezra's not high. Ezra is not low, and I'm so curious to see how you're going to develop him in book 2 and 3, because I feel like that's who he is. Like I feel like Ezra is just here. Like he's not here or here. Not yet. Not in covenant with Ezra, but it's just something the way how you just kind of even out his voice. It's not a lot of swag unless this is internal thoughts. not a lot of swag in his delivery. And I think it mirrors how we got to know him when he was being published in real time. Like, he was not colorful. He was just one way. So I get that from you. So that was not Jazz. That was not Rut. That was not anybody. Like, I feel like you guys always voice uniquely, which is great.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Very much. What's up, Alyx?
Hey.
Hi.
So Winston, when you finally, and I'm going to ask Alyx the same question, when you finally, got into the story, what were your thoughts? Like, what did you think of their journey? Did you know where it was going? Did you?
I didn't know where it was going. What I love of their journey is the religious aspect. You know what I mean? I dug that part about it because a lot of books that I work on don't have that aspect. So it was something new for me to dive into, and it wasn't coming from, it wasn't the street side, so to speak. It was the religious side of the story. So it was something new for me to sink my teeth into, and it excited me, honestly, because we don't I don't want to say we don't tell those stories or whatever, but a lot of the stories in the audiobook world that we live in are not coming from that perspective. You know what I mean? So for me, it was just something. Well, what am I trying to say? For me, it was something new. I think I said that, but it was a good journey. It took me on a journey, you know what I mean? And it had the characters from the other books. So a couple, so I revisited them and saw them from a different side, with them not being the leads.
That is very interesting. That part is very, very
Yeah.
interesting, even for me right now.
And also for me to visit Ezra in other books, and now to get his story, so to speak, like his specific story. I like that a lot. I loved it.
Yeah. What about you, Alyx?
I would say that meeting Ezra, similarly, I met Ezra in other stories first. And, I've met the evolved version of Ezra. The mature version. Lex too. I mean, Lex, she a little pieces of her personality have popped out in different books that I've narrated, but for the most part, Ezra always seems like this old wise man who speaks in riddles, and he just seemed like he got his stuff together. And I don't ever picture him not having his stuff together. And so going back to the beginning was kind of wild, really. I was like, this how they started?
That's good. That's good, Alyx, because I'm with you. I see that. Just to think, like, especially because I know when you guys, Alyx, you may have met him in Love, Rhythm, and Blues, but I think Winston, I know Winston met him in Prism. You think he's an old man, right? Because the way he talks, he's so proper. And I had to tell Winston, I was like,
I was just about to say that.
That nigga is fine. Like, he is sexy. He's fine. He's just weird. And that's why I feel like I'm hearing that when you're delivering him. Like, I feel like you have him unassumed, like you don't know who he is. Like you won't pick it up until you do his inner dialogue. That's when we get to know Ezra. But when he's talking to people, the way you deliver him, it's similar to the way it was written. Like, who is this guy? Like, who is he? And then as we grow with him, we'll get to know who he is. But I feel you.
Like Alyx said, getting to know him from the beginning, because when I first met him, I remember you had hit me like, oh wait, let me tell you how he really is, because
that was
I
my
thought he was
fault.
a different way. I thought he was a different way. Nah, it's all good. But then when I got to get his background and do his story, I loved it because he evolved. He really evolved, and I love evolution. You know what I mean? And we got to see his evolution into uh, uh deeper than religion. I mean, he's like, and there's also like a lot of brothers. Well, I guess because maybe I'm getting older, so brothers my age now are more exploring in religion and being more open to it. But in a younger state, we're not necessarily sharing religion with each other and saying, "Oh, this is what I'm on," so to speak, unless it was. Well, maybe I'm talking about. Well, yeah. I guess when I was younger, I was into the 5%, but that was still more militant. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like 5% Nation and stuff like that was more of a militant, a Black Power kind of thing. Whereas Ezra, he's just a religious guy,
That's what he
and
was,
he's
he
walking
was
a
born
straight
into.
path. Yeah. So it's
And
it's.
I got
I
so
love that.
self-conscious because I'm thinking when I listen to the audio projects, I'm thinking like as they're reading, what are they saying? Yo, this girl is crazy. Like, okay, love, are you drying up on me? Or like I'm always, and I don't struggle with security issues at all. Like, but when I'm listening to you guys, I'm thinking like they thought I was crazy. I know when they got here, and I'm thinking like at the end, well, did I make it? Did I make a difference? Was it good? Did you enjoy it at least? I literally get nervous when I hear the projects. And then you guys do so many people's projects. It's just I don't know. I just get a little nervous.
So
Don't
do
need
you
to
guys
get
have
nervous.
a favorite scene from, or can you tell us what one of your favorite scenes are, or any of your favorite scenes?
If he remembers, yeah.
That would
And
be a
that's the
toughie,
thing.
yeah, to
Yeah, that was
remember.
months ago when they recorded it. Months ago. Okay, well, let's think about, tell him about the scene when he said bruh, when he was talking to Rasul. See if you can remind him.
When Lex showed up late didn't show up to the lunch at all with Bishop Noel Jones and
Lex is
Ezra.
Ezra's lady, right? Lex is Ezra's lady, right?
Yeah,
Yes, and she
Yeah,
showed up
yeah.
to the dinner, the lunch with Bishop Noel Jones, or
That's
Bishop
starting to
Jones,
come back to me. That's starting to come back to me a
and
little bit.
she was drunk, and her father came in with her,
Yes,
and
yes.
and
So
Ezra was flexing.
I didn't like her dad. Now, because now it's coming back to me now, that scene, especially in particular. I didn't like her dad. I hated him in that scene. I not nothing to do with your writing, but this is how
No,
good your writing is because you made me not like these people.
thank
Like,
you.
you know what I mean? It's like they say
Yeah,
about actors, when you don't like somebody, they did a great job. So
yeah,
I didn't like her dad because he was just so much of a he was a leech, and she wasn't like really putting him where he needed to be. She wasn't like standing up for herself, so to speak. And I guess I understand where she's coming from with that, but I at times I wanted Ezra to just, F him up, excuse my language. Like, um,
We were
for
talking
real.
about that before you got on, because Ezra,
Yeah,
he was like, "You're of no consequence to me. Like, I see where
yeah,
you're coming
yeah.
from. You know, Ezra has a prophetic gift. I see where you're coming from. You're weak. I'm gonna play it cool because I don't want to set off any alarms with her because she has this allegiance to you. But Ezra is just really like, but Joss is talking about when they showed up to the restaurant for the luncheon, Alyx, and Lex was drunk, and Ezra was flexing in his own little way. He was calm, but he
he
was
called
flexing in
him
his own little
bruh.
way.
It just threw me off when he
In the inner dialogue,
he was like bruh, and I was started cackling. I cackled too when he said
Russell.
USS when Ezra said PUSSY, and even Lex cackled. I was
Like, Ezra saying pussy?
not
That's
Ezra.
funny.
So you know what I wanted to discuss, and I talked to Alyx about this a little bit. Going back to my Glenda, my Brooklyn's in the house, and she did a video, she did a TikTok video. It's probably on other platforms, but saying how when she first read the project, a while ago, she said she thought Lex was a little passive, and she thought she let I'm paraphrasing, she let Ezra overrun her. And I was saying like, wow, that's interesting, because I didn't pick that up, but hey, fine. But this Brooklyn chick said it was because of Alyx's, I'm pointing to Alyx like she's here. But when it was Alyx's interpretation of her to say, nah, she had some balls with it. Like she wasn't a pushover. And I thought that was the genius of Alyx's ability to get into character, because I never felt that. I mean, I write about aggressive men, but I also write about aggressive women, and I write about yielding and stuff like that. So I was thinking, like, I thought that was really good, Glenda. I thought that was really, really good.
And it was very affirming for me. So thank you.
Yeah. So where does Lex fall for you, Alyx? Because I know Parker, I think she's your number one so far in the LBU. So where does Lex fall for you? And by the way, when you came in, opening up that book with that accent and that even when how you portrayed her in the Sadiq, He Is Your Friend, I was like, Alyx, excuse me, you nailed it.
I was stressed. I'm not gonna lie. I was stressed. Accents don't come naturally to me. I have to work at it.
You know,
I was stressed. Ooh. But I don't know. I like Parker a lot. I think more than like her being my favorite character, I think their story just might have. It was just a lot of fun for me to narrate her POV in their story. But I don't know if I have a favorite. I'm not good at favorites at all. I really enjoyed it. It was a really, I don't know. It just, I guess because it's part of the Connecticut King series, it was like a slightly different vibe. And I think once I read it out, it was a little unexpected. I was like, oh, this is cute. It was stressful. She stressed me out a little bit, but
Parker did or Lex?
Parker
did.
Lex, I always liked grown up, mature Lex. And so meeting, and interacting with the younger version of her has also been a whole lot of fun. I'm terrible with favorites. It's a hard question.
Well, no, I don't do favorites. Everybody, they get frustrated with me.
Okay,
I don't do favorites. I just take people as they are. My clients, I just take them as they are. I love them. If I didn't love them, I wouldn't take them on. I think they all have good qualities.
Yeah.
So I don't do that.
To your point about just perspective, I mean, I think the beautiful thing about art is that everybody can take whatever they want out of the story. And good evening, sir. They can take whatever they want out of the story and decide how they want to be, like how they choose to relate to the character. And I think I've had that experience before where I've read a book and I had one takeaway from it, and then I read it again a few years later, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, I didn't really," And so my goal as the narrator is always to give the well-rounded version of the story where you can connect, even the nose picker. I like that too.
Nice.
I like that too. I felt like that particular trait was very real. It was very realistic.
My mom is a nose picker.
I mean, I know pickers. Okay,
girl, Alyx. People, when that book came out and we had discussions, that was the top topic. That like, why did she write that?
Past it?
Disgusting, and it's like.
Khalees still calls her the nose picker.
Like everybody has a quirk, something.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't find it offensive.
I mean, and my auntie's favorite thing is how was they supposed to get it out? Like especially when you talk about kids. I wonder why y'all be fussing at them kids like that. How was they supposed to get the boogers out if they can't? I know people who are like, that's what your fingers are for. I mean, just wash them afterwards. So it wasn't for
pretty much.
Yeah, I feel like people. You have like things that you just don't talk about. So even if you are a nose picker, you don't want to be put on Front Street.
And we have privy to their inner thoughts, their inner beings.
Yes.
Alyx, I love you. I really do. But I'm not there with you every day. You may do some things that you may burp a lot.
I told
we all have those things.
I told my husband, I was like, if I knew that you had allergies, I don't know how far we would have gotten early. I can't stand when the pollen hits you real hard and you be rubbing your nose and rubbing your ear. I can't stand that. we might not have made it if I knew that back in the beginning.
Nose, ear, snort type thing.
Yes. I can't stand that.
Can I say this? Winston, I'm not flirting with you. I'm not. I want to make that clear. I respect you I respect you as a professional.
Absolutely.
But one of the things, and I remember being hard because I selected you for prison. I selected you. I don't know if you were presented with a line of other guys or whatever. I don't know, but I had heard your name around, and I heard samples, and I said, I can work with him. I can work with him. And I went really hard on you. And let me tell you something. I felt like I got slapped in the face by you and Alyx because y'all ate so hard on Prism. And I just remember you have imperfections in your voice. We hear it all. I hear when you're stuffy. I hear when you swallow. I hear when you sniffle, and you just keep going. It is the most alluring thing. And it's really like captivating. It's like we're getting the rawness of the character in it. And I'm like, these,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, I hear it all. And I'm thinking like, I'm not flirting with you. I promise I'm not flirting with you. But it was just.
You said she flirting. Okay.
No. My lover's gonna listen to this. I'm not flirting.
No, Danisha said.
I have to be honest. When we're adults, I have to be honest with you. It's just like I hear you'll take a deep swallow, or you'll maybe sniffle a little bit, and I'm like, Winston, you still eating? Like you're still doing it. It's seductive. It works, Winston.
You see what Khalees
really
said, humanizing, very much so.
Okay, I appreciate it. I try to cut them out as much as possible, actually. So
no, but they don't need to be cut out. It doesn't need to be cut out at all. I feel like you feel like you're in a space with you when those things are happening. Like, yeah, I am not flirting midnight. My lover,
I would just like to say,
Khalees, I'm not flirting.
Khalees, girl, don't feel judged. I love you beyond your allergies. And I tried real hard to join the chat, but technology don't like me today.
Who are you talking to, Alyx?
Because what I said about the allergies, Khalees said
about
her allergies bad.
Khalees,
yeah.
She feels judged.
I love you still. And they also said they don't care that Nia was picking boogers. They cared that she was stuffing them under the pillow.
Did she do that? Oh my gosh.
I don't remember, but
did she do that? I know it was tissues. And the tissue. She didn't put boogers in anything.
Yeah, but she was leaving the tissues all around.
Yeah, okay, that sounds
oh.
Yeah. So another thing I want to say, I learned from Winston too, because this is your first time on here. So I've not had these. I don't think I have these conversations with you. I know I talk to you behind the scenes, but I learned from you that when you go into a project, and obviously I'm giving you characterization about my client, the main character, you in your mind, you create sub characters and give them personalities. And I'm not in your mind, but I think it kind of helps you delineate and helps you kind of keep everybody in order in your head when you're giving them different like accents and different things like that. And I'm thinking like, yo, that's talented, because beyond the acting that you're doing for the main character, you're also applying personalities just with your voice to the sub characters. And I thought that was like an amazing thing. I don't think I've ever considered that. I'm kind of new at audio too, so let me not act like.
I think I want them to I want the listeners to hear different people. I don't want them to be confused or just like take my voice into another octave without anything behind it. You know what I mean? I think that people talk different ways for different reasons, right? So like it can't just be, all right, well, this person got a higher voice, excuse me, or this person has a lower voice, or like it's certain people that I'm reaching that I'm that I'm digging from, that I'm pulling from in my brain. You know what I mean? Like somebody they may not be a pimp, but I may give them a pimp's kind of talk, like, you know what I mean? Like and use that kind of thing to fuel the voice behind it, which helps me hold the voice longer, so to speak. Yeah.
So are you guys happy in audio?
Say that again?
Yeah.
Are you happy in audio? Like, you guys aren't going to try, because you guys are both actors. You guys aren't going to try to like leave, are you?
Nah. I think, I've thought about that question, because like I think I will always do audiobooks. Maybe there may come a time where I do less, you know what I mean? But I think I will always do it because I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for the things that it has provided for me. So I don't see myself ever saying like, nah, I ain't doing audiobooks no more. But I'm sure there'll be a time where maybe I'll do less, but I will always
That's my
be
goal
doing
too.
audiobooks.
That's my goal, to do less. When I get there, I'm not there yet, but to do less. And you, Alyx, are
I
you?
enjoy I enjoy it. I'll be
Um,
transparent in saying that I don't necessarily enjoy the entire process, but I
Mhm.
enjoy the time I spend with the characters.
mhm,
It it fills me up in a way that I'm not getting full in other areas of my life. So that's,
mm,
just like that intimacy with just me and my characters in the booth. That's not something that can be easily replicated. Even in acting, there's an audience if you're live, there's a cameraman if you behind the screen, like it's an intimacy that can't be replicated. So I like it. I want to continue being recognized as valuable so that our time can be compensated a little better.
yes.
Um, I feel like we've come a long way, but I think we still got some ways to go. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm trying to get flued out to somebody's studio to record an
Mm,
audiobook.
for
Yes.
real.
Like, yes, I will
For
come
real.
on vacation for 3 days to wrap this book up for you. So,
Absolutely.
right.
Mhm.
So I would like to see some of those things happen, but I don't foresee myself leaving per se. I think I
Yeah.
enjoy
Winston will tell you, he gets quiet, I get nervous.
it.
Because he's been in audio before I started publishing. So I'm thinking like, don't get burnt out, Winston, don't get burnt out. And with Alyx, I kind of had to snatch her up and saying, you're too casual about this. Like after that prison series, Jocelyn, I don't know if I told you, I know I had to have told you, like, and that changed my perception of audio.
Yeah, Love and I weren't
Ooh.
audio girls, to be honest with you.
It's okay. I wasn't either.
We really like there was this wave of audiobooks and we were just like, okay, yeah, no,
Whatever.
I'm
It
not
took me
listening
forever to
and
get
I
into it.
that's
Yeah.
not my thing. I'm gonna read my book and da 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 da. And now, yeah, but I only listen to certain. That is so wrong to say on this platform. I'm not
I
listening to everybody.
think that's wrong to say per se. I
It's
think that
the truth.
you like what you like, you know what I mean? And everybody doesn't, I don't think everybody gonna do it for
No,
you, you
and
know?
you know what it is?
Yeah.
And Love and I have had this conversation that we hear something in our brains when we're reading, and if that doesn't come across or close to it when you're listening, it don't work. It doesn't do it for me. I just can't. I can't do it.
I get what you're saying though, because it's just like when you have a book that you love that gets adapted into a film.
Right?
If it don't, they be taking shortcuts, they be trying to
Yeah.
like hurry up and rush
Yeah.
the plot,
Yeah.
and then you it's like you almost have to go into it knowing that it's not gonna satisfy you and lower your expectations in order for you to enjoy it.
Right.
So
That's what
I
drives
was the
me
same
crazy
way.
because I'm thinking like I cannot prepare you guys for everything. Like, how can I get better? How can I get better at preparing? And then I end up inundating you with so much information. And I know it's like so frustrating, but I'm like, we gotta get this right. We have to get that, but only on more or less on certain like on a Love Unaccounted, which is huge.
Yeah.
Sadiq, which is huge. Yeah, so things like that. I just lost my train of thought. I was gonna. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. I'm gonna give Joslyn 2 minutes to let her hair down and say what she has to say about her book coming in audio. Go, Joss. Go, Joss. Go.
So
Look
Winston,
at that. Look at that. Look at that.
you are doing my male character in my book, my fourth release. You were one of my top choices, and when I got the message from, I can't say who is under, I can't remember. That's a doggone shame. But when I got the email that had your name, I was just
She screamed.
elated. Love was one of the first people I hit up. I was like, oh,
Scream.
they chose Winston for me. Yes, yes, yes. I was so excited. So I'm so looking forward to you killing. You made me nervous when you was like, if it's not good and right, and I can't get into it. I'm like, oh hell.
I- Wait, which book is it? Which book is it?
My Love Is Only for You is coming out in November, just before my birthday, actually.
Okay, so it must be
Perfect.
coming up on the slate soon then.
Yeah, you and Jair Bush, I think that's her name, are doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's my love. Let me have those 2 minutes. Thank you.
I love the way you lit up.
She did. She called me. She was screaming, "Love! I got Winston!" I was like, "Oh my god, yes!"
Because they all, they like, you can tell us who you think, but that might not be who you get. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really
Let me ask you this. I've never asked Alyx this, and it's my first time talking to Winston. What do you guys do to prepare to? And I'm not even talking like just sensual. I'm talking about to sit your behind in that booth behind that microphone and record. Alyx told me, what'd you do, Alyx? Like 3 hours at a time or something?
Usually,
Make sure cut off
I try
time.
to cap it off. Like I'll do 2 to 3 hours at a time, unless I have a deadline I need to push it. But I think after that, I'm getting tired. I'm getting delirious, and I'm misreading words on the page.
What is your ritual? Like, what do you do? Do you need to relax while you get in
Mm.
there? Do you have wine? Do you, as another narrator said, do you take a puff off the chief? You don't have to answer that. But I'm just saying, are there any vices you use in order to prepare yourself
Well,
to relax?
while
So you can
Alyx is
just
childless, her the person who she lives within is not. So I don't always have the luxury to I don't always have the luxury to like get into my rituals and routines. But on a perfect day, I record at night when the house is quiet and everybody is asleep. And so I take a little nap and I get up. I usually use my humidifier, um, and have a glass of tea or just some warm water. And I like to just kind of skim what I'm about to go over so I can be prepared for how many characters are about to show up in this next portion, the next chapter, um, and make sure I have my my mental checklist of like my different voices or different cadences and that kind of thing ready. I used to sit, but that wasn't working out that well, so I stand now.
you stand. Okay.
I stand now, and that it works a little bit better. My feet be tired sometimes, but it's different from having numbness in your hips. I was like, is this an age thing or what? But yeah, that's my ideal night of recording.
Okay. Winston, you don't have to be shy or be green because she was clean. How do you prepare? If you know,
Honestly, I may I I've tried, maybe a little puffy, a little sippy before, but I tend to find that my words don't come out as clear as I really want them to come out at
Right?
that point in time. So I kind of stop because then I'm making so many mistakes, and when I kind of got a short fuse a little bit. So like when I start making too many mistakes, I get frustrated.
yeah,
So I try to be as clear-minded as possible. Now I may go over it and do preparation without recording, like,
yeah.
prepping the book, maybe doing some shit like that, prepping the book, but like recording itself, because I got to keep my tongue as strong
Yeah.
as possible, like, and I don't want to have my tongue being lazy, because then
Pause.
yeah, then it messes with the with what I'm trying to do, and I want to be as efficient as possible,
Mhm,
for you and for the editor and
mhm,
myself on the back end. I don't want to have to do so much on the back end because, and I've even listened, like, I've early on, especially, I've listened like, oh man, like I was like, I'll get pickups and say, oh man, I was so tired when I was doing that. Like I can hear it in my
mhm,
voice, or
mhm.
so I just want it to be as quality as possible. I
Got
would
it.
love to be, you know,
That relax.
Loose,
heavily that
yes.
relaxed, but it's not going to be efficient. I'm not
Got
going to be
it.
able to do it.
Agreed. I mean, it's every little thing you can hear it
Yeah.
in audio. I mean, I bit my tongue once and I was so mad.
Oh,
I was
oh
mad
wow.
because for two whole days, like 2 whole days of recording, I had to be real particular about how I moved my tongue in my mouth because I sounded different. Like words
Wow.
were coming out real slurry.
So I write sober, but I edit tipsy
Okay.
because I'm a slow writer and I'm a slow reader, but when I'm editing, it's usually at night on a device, and I can just go through it like a lot faster. And I'm very nervous. It's a really stressful time because I'm editing with my team, but not yet.
That's
Not yet.
interesting. I
I
thought you might
haven't.
have said,
The opposite, right?
yeah, I thought you would have said the other way around. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
absolutely. Yeah.
No, I'm starkly sober when I write. When I'm editing, I'm just like flowing because I want to be. I'm really tense because I want to see how this is coming out. I just throw it against the wall and have my editors clean it for me, and then I'll come back and do the final cleaning. And when I'm doing that final cleaning, I'm so wrapped up in the story, I need to calm down so I can feel. And I'm like, girl, that's risky. But I ain't mess up too bad yet. So yeah, but
It's working for you.
yeah, so far
That's
it
what's
works.
up. Okay.
But yeah. So I just find that interesting because I've heard of narrators, they kind of like to relax. They may puff on something or sip on something or whatever, but it works because you couldn't tell me, Alyx, when you talking about something, when you did Ezra, I have the recording on my phone from when I sent it to you, but no one else can hear it, so it's no need for me to bring it up. But when you spoke those lines, about what Ezra prefers, and when he was trying to say he preferred her, I was like, Alyx,
And his sliver sass.
yes. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right, Alyx. But this was really, 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 really good. And you guys actually start recording in like 2 weeks for in Love with Ezra.
Mine is actually due.
Next week.
Yeah, so
Yeah, next week I think I start.
No,
once I
it's
get this,
not.
once I get this script from you, I turn in my audio on the 18th.
Oh, you
Yeah,
turning in
yeah,
on the
around
18th.
there.
I thought
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
started. I thought y'all were gonna get started on the 18th. Okay. All right.
I think it's due on the 18th. Let me check.
Oh God, I had it all wrong. They called for it last week, and I said I need a couple more days. All right, so
Yeah, due on
it'll
the
be
18th.
submitted it'll be submitted by Wednesday. I got my editor on it now. It'll be
Okay.
submitted by Wednesday. But I am so excited about book 2. I'm not going to, and this is what Joslyn and I've been trying to figure out, because these are older projects. They're just, but this is my way of allowing my sister readers to get to know the new members of the LBU, which are the narrators. So I wanted to have these conversations with you guys, but I didn't want them to be, I didn't want you guys to have to worry about staying on for the whole chat. And I also didn't want you guys to worry about having a chat after every installment. So we've been kind of trying to figure it out because, again, you guys work on so much stuff and you're not going to remember it. But if in a perfect world, I would like to have a conversation and talk about the evolution of the character from where you started to where the series ends. It's just the timing of it. It doesn't work. But I just appreciate you guys taking me seriously. I say this all the time. I work with narrators and they don't take my art seriously, and I don't work with them again. And you guys you guys not only take it seriously, by your reception to me, our chemistry and our energy, but it shows up in a project.
I don't see how that's possible. I just don't. You can't not. Well, love. I tell you this all the time. You bad and bougie. You can't just. Like you can't just approach love any old way.
They tried it.
You can't just be like, "Hey, little mama, what's up?" Like, nah, she ain't. It ain't gonna fly. Like you gotta come correct. You really gotta do your homework, find out what she likes. Like, you gotta approach it in a certain kind of way. I don't understand how it's possible to do anything less than that. It just don't. It does not compute.
Well, I'm very fortunate that I have you guys. And Winston has always been so humble, so humble. I'm a little embarrassed by my first few conversations because I'm like, don't do it this way, do it this way. I was the same way with Alyx when I met her. I'm like, it's this, I want to hear this. And then if you just kind of just give them some characterization and let them go, oh my gosh, that prison series. I don't like to say this publicly, so I'm not going to say it. That prison series you guys did, you guys always do a great job. I think that one, I had no expectations. And I think that's why that prison series gets me. Because I'm like, I don't care about no audiobooks. It is whatever. I'm not going to be able to tell them every time, like every chapter, I'm not going to be able to prepare. I was like, so whatever. And then when that thing came back to me, I was like, oh, okay. And I love your work. And now when I write, I can hear, okay, this is midnight. What I'm writing now is midnight. The project that I'm slated to do, I'm contracted to do after that. Winston, you're all over that. And so it's just good to have a nice mix. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure.
Likewise. Looking forward to the next one.
Can we just 2 seconds? We didn't take any questions from the readers. I don't want to keep them on, but Sister Readers, do you guys have any questions for them before they go? Because Winston worked today.
Here's one. She's asking, and I don't think that's a long time, but let me shut up. If book two audio will be done on the 18th, why won't it be released to August 12th? What's the process?
It has to be edited.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of and they're editing.
In my opinion, like
he's not wrong though. Like sometimes the turnaround time is sooner, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people have to keep in mind though that Love's books are longer than the average. Like I've done some books where like the audio was due at the beginning of May and it came out at the end of May, but it's much shorter than, you know. So I think it has to do with the length of the project, and there's just a lot that goes into it. I can't wait to meet you either, Danisha.
Oh yeah, that's my girl. I can't wait to meet her too. Okay, any other questions, Winston? Okay, here's one.
I was expecting to talk more about Ezra and Lex. So if anybody got questions?
Winston, are you coming to Indie Love? I don't think you have. Do you have? I don't think Joslyn. So I think there's a disconnect with the email thing with Winston.
With the email on what?
Your email address. I don't know, Joslyn, have you ever communicated with Winston via email? We'll talk about that offline. Because it was something I thought about early. We'll talk about it offline.
Okay.
Yeah, because you were invited to Indie Love, Winston, and they would have loved to have seen you, but I don't know, you know.
Yeah, I didn't get the email. Or maybe it went to my spam and I didn't see it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I definitely reached out. I'm laughing because it's like, am I being put on Front Street? But
no, because you did invite him, and you love Winston. Yeah, no,
you already know. So
who's behind Dual I Am?
Is this audiobooks are my kink? I listened to over 200 books last year. I listen to at least 5 books a week. I love audiobooks.
Is that the Instagram page? Audiobooks are my kink. I think I follow them.
Oh, I don't know. Dual I Am.
I appreciate. I'm after this weekend at the Black Romance book festival. That was my first time going to any book festival as Alyx, and so it was very, very humbling and reassuring and validating and all the things to meet so many people who are like legitimate audio bookies, and it made my heart really warm and full.
Danisha is one of those people.
Yep.
She's saying she is. That's her.
That's you. Okay, girl. Okay. I thought that was, you know, but I love it. Like, we appreciate y'all so much. Literally the reason why we do it. You know, the goal is always to satisfy you all's expectations and maintain the integrity of the book and the author's message whenever we're recording books. So thank you for listening. Keep listening, please.
Yeah, we love you,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Love being on with y'all.
Well, I definitely appreciate. Okay, so that's it. That's it for questions. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna keep,
really, y'all.
I know. I I think I overtalked. That was probably me. I probably
Yeah,
didn't create
see,
an
I
entire.
just knew we was gonna get some questions about Ezra and Lex and this the scene outside her apartment and in
So you remember that. But
honestly
see,
in her apartment.
Winston doesn't remember that. Winston got like 6 scripts in his head right now. And we would have to give him like context clues to remember. So that's why I was like, I pulled back from that. Because I understand. That's what I mean. In a perfect world, I talk to you guys like right after you turn in your, your files. But we can't do that because we can't have them on. So,
Right.
with their energy. So that's the unfair advantage. And I totally understand it. But you guys ate. I was
Yeah, you definitely did. Like I literally finished today. I was telling Love knows that I listen in the car because it's hard to listen in other places. I get interrupted. So I always listen on my way to work, on my way home from work. And when they're sending me messages, I'm like, y'all interrupting, my flow of what I got going on. But the scene that stands out fresh because I just finished a couple of hours ago was the last scene when Lex is like, I will punch you. And I'm thinking, damn, and it ends right here. Like, why?
Love ain't have to do us like that.
Exactly.
I don't even think she'd be remembering. I think she makes these choices in the moment, and then
I just let them go.
Yep. And then she don't even remember how she do us.
So Khalees, you got to put a pause at the end of that. Okay. You got to say pause. we got to keep it respectful. I love you some Khalees. I love Winston James. Laugh. It's female. Laugh at it. It's infectious. Oh, so Duel's in the house. She's in the right place. He or she. Duel. Baby, you can never go wrong with the Winston James. Okay. That is, I think that's true. I wish you can narrate all books. I had to, this audio thing just, okay, I already said that. I'm not going to say it again. But anyway, all right. I know. Winston has to go. And Alyx, I love you, girl.
I love you too. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
And Winston, we'll be talking soon because we gotta move on to book 2.
Yes, for all the audiobook girlies and guys who are present. I really appreciate all of y'all. This is wonderful.
Oh, thank you, Alyx. All right. What, Winston? Did we lose you? Maybe we did.
Maybe. I don't know. He's still there, but maybe can't hear.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll be talking soon, Alyx.
Okay. Well, good to chat with you guys. I will
see you soon.
Be in person to those of you who are attending Indie Love. And shameless plug, but I did just launch a couple of offerings.
I was going to tell you to speak about that. Yeah. What are you going to be bringing in?
Yes, I'm really excited about it because y'all, I was stressed about this. This weekend was my first time doing a festival, and I was like, and I got 2 events back to back. I don't know what I'm bringing to these events. I ain't got no books. They're not my books. I was like, what am I supposed to do? So I pre-recorded some affirmation tracks. I have one affirmation track for Black women around self-love, one for Black men around worthiness, and those are still on sale, like my launch special. And then I also have I had 2 other offerings where if you want a personalized affirmation track, I will record one for you, or a custom love letter, either to yourself or to somebody you want to give a love letter to. That is.
And how do they? Are you going to do a pre-order or no?
Yeah, so I'm still working on the content, but I'm going to do a pre-order for Indie Love. I didn't know I was supposed to be pre-ordering stuff, so I just launched everything like this past weekend. And I was like, okay, see, now I know. Next time I need to pre-order. You live and you learn. It was still a good time. But yes, so I will post details on the pre-order information, but if anybody wants to take advantage of it, the details are in my bio. The link in my bio, you can go and purchase the products right now on Instagram at Alyx Monroe, ALYX MONROE.
All right now. Oh, that sounds so good for you, Alyx.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm really enjoying it. I'm really,
Good.
really, really enjoying the this new venture that I'm on. I have some other ideas, but I'm gonna calm down and take it step by step for right now.
Okay. Winston is saying his mic. No, he's not muted. Okay. Well,
No, we good.
he said he can hear us. It was something is up with his mic.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, Winston, thank you. Thank you, Alyx. And again, we'll be talking soon. Now that I'm in my zone now. He said, tell everyone one love. We'll be chatting soon now that in love with Ezra is in my brain. I'm ready. I'm ready to prep.
Good night, y'all.
Good night. All right. All right. So I'm curious. How many people here have not? They've only listened to In Covenant with Ezra, and you're not familiar with the rest of the series. Is there anyone in here that just stopped at that one audiobook and don't know the story? You didn't read it? Because I know I've been told by several people, oh man, the second book won't be out for months. Oh, wow. The second book won't be out for months. And they just went on ahead and purchased either the ebook or the paperback. Oh, wow. So what are you guys going to do? Are you going to wait? Okay, Tiffany says she's reading book 2 now. Jerica says her. So are you guys like really going to wait? Do we meet Peach's man in book 2? No. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jazz.
No, I was looking at that question too.
No. Peach is not friends. Oh, okay. Okay, Lisa. I see what you're doing. Or maybe you're not, because Peach's love interest, who I have in mind for her, I think he was introduced in book 2 or 3, but I don't even think you knew
did
that,
say
Lisa.
that, and I forgot all about that. That's how I'm sitting there
Yeah.
like,
Lisa, is that what you're referring to? Because Peach is not. I didn't meet Peach until after Love Unaccounted. That's a good question. If that's what you're referring to.
you know, you're asking that question. I think an advantage for some of us, I'm gonna say OGs, as CCJ likes to say, her OGs. For us, it's like I was saying earlier, you know, we've read it 2 or 3 times already. So this is our 3rd or 4th, 5th time. And the listening is, you get, for me, I know for me for sure, you get more ahas and because of the narration of it. Of course, you get them when you're reading, because when I read something a second or third time, or either if I read it to go back, and that was a long time ago, and I read it now, it's like, oh, I forgot about that. Or I pick up on something I did not pick up on the first time. So for the OGs, that's the audiobooks are for somebody who did not care nothing about no audiobook. I'm in love with them. Not not all of them, some of them now.
Yeah.
I can listen to them.
We've evolved, right, Jocelyn?
Yes, we definitely.
Yeah, Johnny. But I just, at least you guys have a relief. You can go purchase the book. But when it was published, they didn't have that. First book was published in September of 2014. The second one was in December 2014, and Bonded was in, I think, April of 2015. Am I lying? No. September 2015, December 2015, and April 2016. So Bonded was published in 16. So I'm like, that sounds like waiting to breathe dates. But and we just had to wait. Like I had to wait to figure out what they, for them to tell me what they were going to do. So at least you guys can do that. I know it's not the same, but I think we'll be rewarded. If
August is not for us to come out. That's not a long time compared to some. Like we're ready. Like some of us are ready for Sadiq, the second book, and it's like, damn.
Yeah,
coming out before Sadiq's second book, right?
I don't know. They're back to back. Let me look. I'll look. If you
I know Nye and
that's Wednesday.
yeah,
That's
that's come out. Yeah.
Wednesday, or it's not tomorrow, is it, Joslyn?
Is it?
When is the 3rd?
Tomorrow. No. Yeah, what's today? Today's the 2nd. Yeah,
That comes out tomorrow.
Well, I got that good old Audible credit waiting. Let me just go ahead. Yeah, tomorrow. Okay.
All right, so August, like you said, will be In Love with Ezra. Bonded will be in November. Sadiq won't be until September and October. Yeah. So yeah, this is the part I don't have any control over. We have to. They're working. Alyx and Winston are working, so it's their schedule, and then I also think the publishing companies, they have their way of deciding when, but they're definitely at the mercy of the narrators, and then whatever politics happens after that. I'm looking for the I think that book comes out tomorrow.
That's what somebody said. They said tomorrow.
Love's Encroachment. Yeah, it's tomorrow, and I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. Is that midnight, or is that Winston?
For what?
Love's Encroachment.
I think that's Winston.
Is it Winston?
Yeah, him and
Alyx.
Alyx were just talking about. He was chuckling at the tissue stuff, the boogers.
He was chuckling, but I thought he found it funny. I didn't know, because it is quite strange. Let me see. Audio. Oh, they don't even have the image yet.
And it drops tomorrow. Here we go.
The 3rd. Then on the 3rd, who's narrating? Midnight. That's Midnight.
Oh.
That's Midnight. I don't know if he's still here. But yep, that's Midnight. We're going to see what Midnight comes with as coach. Dang, I'll be starting a new audiobook tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm supposed to be actually writing. I got to get back to Riel. So guys, any more questions we have? Those of you, okay, Nikki was trying to tell me it was midnight. I think Tiffany was too. Yep, Khalees gonna let me know, and Danisha's gonna let me know. Okay, so it's midnight. Well, Winston may I have to look. Winston, we may hear him again at CK. He may be Maz. He may be Maz.
Ooh.
So we may hear him again. So for those of you who are going to wait until August for book 2, do you want to know any spoilers? Do you have any burning? We all know it's a happily ever after, right? But do you have? Well, Khalees, look it up to see if I'm sure. If they have it, I'm wondering, did they have it? Because I don't think they started recording. I don't know. That could be midnight too. I think that's midnight. That could be midnight too. Love's Neutral Zone. But for those who are saying they're going to wait for the audio, do you have any questions? Oh, thanks, Duel. Yes, I'm always down for spoilers. But do you have any specific questions, Duel? Yeah, this thing, I reading book 2 back, it just gave me the feels, and
Yeah, make me go read.
Yeah, it was. I was like, dang, that's good. I can't wait for them to get on. And again, I think it would be cool if we can talk to them right after they record. Alyx may have a better memory, but poor Winston, he's just like in so much stuff, and he's been in this game for so darn long. It's just, yep, midnight. Midnight will be mine. Maz. So midnight is going to take the next 2. Yeah. Questions. I'm looking forward to Ezra learning about Lex's assault. So hang on. Nor. Oh, okay. Nope. I was about to check you. No,
Yeah.
nope. You gonna check me? See, I'm confused in book 2 because I just finished book 2. Okay. Well, okay. That's very interesting. Okay.
You gotta remember, Johnny, some people haven't read it or haven't listened to it. So
I feel like we haven't chatted in forever. You know, I'll be in your inbox. Oh, that's my Ash. Hey, Ash. Yeah, where you been? I remember Ash coming to the second Indie. Ash, what Indie Love was that you were at? And I was like, you're my Ashley? And you were like, yeah. I was like, oh my God, you came late. You were running late. And she was so shy. I think it was Indie Love. Was that LA? I'm looking forward to Ezra. Okay, we did that one. Do we find out about the rape in book 2? The rape comes up. It resurfaces in book 2. That's how I'll answer that question. You love the pace of the story. Yeah, and it had a pace. When I finished it, I was like, whoa, I didn't remember a lot of the stuff. I think I'm going to have to read book 2 again before the audio releases. Okay, that's interesting.
I don't have no.
I've been thinking about reading book 2 again, just know what happens. But I think I'll wait. Yeah, I think, and then if you want to listen to book 1 a day or so before book 2 comes out to, get you back in that vein, I can see that too. But when Justin, I don't know if you recall this, but back then, because we know you're an original LBU resident, In Love with Ezra and Love Uncharted were my favorite 2. They were my favorite 2 books in LBU.
Mm-hmm.
In Love with Ezra, I actually have it isolated here. I wish I can. I actually have it isolated here on my. Oh, let's see. LB being sexy. Here in my office, you see how it's isolated? Yeah. So maybe that's why I have that emotional response to it, because those 2 got me. I know, Jesty. Hi, first of all, I feel like you're familiar. Everyone asks that. They've not been in the same room yet, but I'm sure they're aware of each other. At first, a few years ago, I didn't want to touch that, and now I'm just thinking, like, maybe I'm sure we'll have them in the same room, like Jazz and Ashira's baby shower. Ezra was there, but Asmir couldn't make it. I feel like there was another. Was it in Complicated? There was another event that Asmir made it, Ezra didn't, or something like that. So we'll see.
And Tori in at the fight. Asmir was at the fight, but
Ezra was not.
I don't know. I'm not. My mind is just like these 2 alpha males. Like, I don't. Woo.
Well, Asmir is a Christian man now, so maybe it's just, and Ezra, don't be trying to read people who ain't trying to be read.
That part.
I think Ezra has that wisdom. Ezra was the first book I read after my divorce. I redeveloped my love for reading after that series, and you became my favorite. Oh, thank you. It was so healing for me, and it got me out of a funk. Thank you. That means a lot. That means a lot, to create a colorful world that someone can get lost and distracted to, 27. So it was the second one. Okay. I remember meeting my Ash, and I was like, my Ash? I remember.
It's giving me the blues of trying to download. So I guess I have to wait.
What?
Like, it won't even let me pre-order for whatever reason. It keeps telling me I don't have no internet, and we know that's a lie.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
I think Joslyn does that too. Well, no, you haven't done it because you've been doing it in your car. At first, you were reading along with listening. Tara does that. Tara.
Remember, there was a method to it. We were
right. The first project, the independent project.
Yeah, the first part. Yeah.
And it just he was nasty. Oh shoot. What the heck did I just do?
No, Indie Love is not always in Atlanta. We were in
We've been to LA. We've been
to LA. 2022, we went to New Orleans. 2026. Oops, can't tell you.
I'm gonna have to take a vacation day to read book 2. Yeah. I had to read the other 2 books again. Ezra, indeed. I should stop. Friends, stop and read the other 2 books. That's my Glenda. Have Raina and Lex. Oh, have Raina and Lex been in the same room? For a while, we didn't hear from Raina in subsequent projects. We'll hear from Azmir. Raina may get a, but now her person, I feel like she's grown enough, so we'll see her with Shishi, and we see her.
Were they in the same room for Hayden's baby shower? I can't remember.
Were Lex and Ezra even there?
Right, I can't remember.
I know Azmir was there. And Raina were there. I don't think the Carmichaels were there. The Thanksgiving dinner, that was a good scene. I know I enjoyed writing that. I was like tickled by it, and I feel like it paid off because I feel like you guys were really receptive to it. But Ezra was there, Azmir and Raina were not there.
So I'm seeing all this stuff, bring it to Chicago. It's going to be in Houston. I move by my spirit, and I'm saying that like that, but Love Belvin knows that's true. I take it where I'm led to take it. If I'm led to leave it here at home, because Atlanta is home, is the very first one, so it's home. Of course, we're celebrating 10 years. We're at home. Baby, I'm from Detroit. I'm not bringing any love to I'm sorry. Y'all got events in Detroit. Y'all got some good events in Detroit. Justin's not bringing up to Detroit. I'm sorry, that tickled me too much. I'm sorry.
Danisha, low love, low is it? Oh no. They the Jacobses were not there.
Baby, I'm born in Michigan, Detroit. Still got family there. I can only do a day or 2 before I gotta go.
That's me.
It'd be hot.
Let me shut up. It was my.
Oh no, that was probably
Girl, have you met? That was Girl, have you met? Because I think Rachel, that's where I met you, right?
Yeah, Girl, have you met?
Muted was my so the Muted Hopelessness series.
I've been debating on listening to that again too.
Yeah.
Yep. Muted. Yeah. Torian.
The Love series. What's the Love series, Stool? Lit. Are you talking about Love's Improbable Possibility? Yeah, Rachel. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Look at Tiffany.
I know.
Look at Tiffany. Okay. Well, I think we wrapped it up in 2 hours.
Yep, just about. Right at it.
Uh-huh. Oh, DC. Yeah, DC is not far from me at all. But I don't know. It's hard traveling an event. And I've never done an event myself. I've only heard stories, but you really have to know the personality of the town, and you got to have logistics. It's hard to just pick up and move, an event.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. A lot of work.
Talk soon, Ashley. I'm so happy you checked in tonight, girl. Thank you. Wait a minute, Ashley, are you in Atlanta? You live in Atlanta, right? The Atlanta area? Are you going to be at Indie Love? Am I going to see you?
That's what I was just going to say. How many people are coming to Indie Love? That's in here.
Oh, that's Prince George's County. That's the Is that the DMV? Some parts you can't. You're not supposed to. They don't consider it DMV. Okay.
I think that is coming to light.
This one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. But remember, Jackson doesn't have a POV. That's
Right.
POV. That's all.
Right. That's all.
L's.
Yeah.
That's all L. Yes, the DMV. Okay, because Maxine, I want to get it right because like Baltimore is not considered the DMV. I don't want to get in trouble. Only for the signing event.
That's
so she's saying there's still tickets left for. There are only a few tickets. Are there still tickets left?
Just a few, and I almost closed it today. The VP told me to wait till the weekend, leave it open for the rest of the week, and to close it on the weekend.
Oh, okay, because I'm thinking, I remember the last count, how many were left. That's nothing.
Yeah. And I've left it open. We normally sell out, and we could have been sold out a long time ago, but I left it open because it's the 10 years. That's the only reason why I left it, and I padded it. So, but yeah. Girl, you got a ticket? Because I'm telling you this, I'm closing it this weekend. I gotta shut it down. I've kept it open longer than I normally would have. I know, Khalees. I know, girl. I know you ready.
I'm ready. I'm getting excited.
So Khalees and Allegra are our MCs for the brunch, for the program for the brunch.
No. Oh.
Allegra and Kalisa.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be really, really good.
And Lisa and Glenda are our party girls for Friday night. Yep. So it's big. A time will be had. A time.
I love me some Glenda. I love me some Lisa too. All right. So I think we're in a good place. I'm gonna eat. And pray my lover never watches this because I was not flirting with Winston James. I'm too old to be flirting, okay? Did you see Midnight? Midnight say, yeah. No, I'm too old to be flirting.
He messy. Okay. Midnight messy.
I'm
gonna call him out on Friday night. I'm gonna call him out.
That's right.
Messy. Thank you all so much for joining us on a Monday. We appreciate you so much. This was fun, and you know I was in heaven.
You behaved very well, Joslyn.
Huh?
You behaved very well, girlfriend.
I did. I appreciate it. I went on mute for a minute, like I just came.
Did you really, Joslyn? It was good. We have to have Winston on again.
I think we should chat the last book, like you said. Bonded. I think we should chat that one. Or any other one that he does.
You know what we may have to do? We may have to do a closed one once he's done. Because Alyx will remember. Because like she said, she wanted to talk about the characterizations, but it would have been at a disadvantage to Winston because he's doing Hamlet, for crying out loud. They recorded this. I don't know.
Oh, okay. You mean like a recorded one and then air it? Okay.
And or we can invite people who whoever wants to come, they can come. What I'm saying is, if you want to come and you have not listened and you don't mind the spoilers, maybe we need to work it that way. And I think Winston.
Erica, how do you have Friday and Sunday and not Saturday? Wait, I'm confused.
What?
I'm confused. Because there's no signing on Friday or Sunday. We just partying and brunching and loving on. Oh.
How did you? Is it because there was a conflict in your schedule? Like maybe something was going on Saturday for you. That's why you didn't buy Saturday.
Does he live here?
I don't know. Do you live there in Atlanta? Yeah, do it. So I think I'm gonna do that. Because Winston is cool. I don't even know why. Why haven't we gotten Winston on before? Because he told me when we started this, he said, "Love, I got your back. You need me to do it, I got it." That's strange.
Linda, I'm not worried about
Khalees. I know why we didn't. But I'm not messy, and I ain't gonna say so. So I know why we didn't.
Okay.
All right, let's close this. I gotta eat.
All right.
I'm hungry.
We were waiting for
I
you
love
to
you guys.
respond,
Thank you
but okay.
so much. I know you were smart. You ate before. I wasn't, but I would
She's
love.
talking about, oh, let me get the other one. I can't.
He is a mess.
All right, y'all. It's been fun. It's been fun. We will see y'all soon, especially the ones. Oh, you live in Memphis. Okay. So you're
Okay.
gonna be here. So okay, never mind. All right, y'all. We will see y'all in a couple of weeks. Those who are coming to Indie Love, I can't wait. They said thank you for being on camera, love.
Huh?
They said
No, I
thank
told
you.
him.
Somebody said
What's
thank
his-
you for being on camera.
Ah, yeah. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better.
All right, y'all. Have a good evening.
Love you.